What apartheid was to me is apartness. People being ill-treated differently from others. It was mostly racial boundaries, what people could do and not.
It was basically a way of segregation, basically, for the all white government, because if you were not white, you were not allowed to vote. Also, in terms of like their language, so Afrikaans will stay on one side, English will stay on one side, and you will have colored people. So you will see signs that says whites only, and also you will see public facilities that will say non-white, non-Europeans, you know.
So people that were hoping for the equal rights when they're fighting for apartheid and equal standards of living.
You need to be at your workplace at a certain time. You need to be back at work. And also, if then you are caught in places where you're not supposed to be, then you're going to get punishment that you can be beaten up or you can be arrested.
You needed to carry a thing that was called a dom pass, which is like a pass, so just to like explain to you, okay, my name is Loiso, this is the race I am, this is where I'm coming from, this is where I reside. So, and if you didn't have that as a non-white person in South Africa, you will get arrested.
When it came to them trying to curb and fight for the black people, they formed the African National Congress back in 1912. A lot of the political leaders then were forming ways in terms of how they want to be part of government, how they wanted to be included in everything.
Everyone was feeling great, and as for me, I don't have so much at that time, but I have a little bit of what was happening during the time, and it was such a good feeling, and people they had so much hope that things will change.
The freedom brought a lot of change in the black society. However, we are still oppressed. If you go in the township, you will see that people, they live in a different form than the people that live in the southern suburb or the suburbs.
So, I mean, there is still hope. You know, there's this word in isiXhosa called vuka uzenzele. Wake up and do it for yourself. So, for me, if I was the president, I would also preach that, because now people are still in that mode of, okay, the ANC in 1994, they promised us free houses, jobs, and all of that. So now, if you are waiting for the government to do that for you, I don't think it's gonna happen. It's happening at a slow pace.
The thing on my side that they did come through in terms of owning a business, being a black person in a place like Observatory, those options were like really not there. And in terms of when it comes to education, so if you are staying in Nyanga in the township, the kids would only be able to have access in terms of education in the township. But now you are able, if you can afford, you are able to take your kids to a multiracial school, which is we used to call them like that back in the days.
I was born here in Cape Town. I was mostly raised by my father in a township called Kaelicha. It is one of the second biggest townships in the country. But then when I got to Cape Town, I started living with my father, who was an African National Congress member and one of the important community leaders in our community back then. And he used to actually have meetings in the house with they called each other comrades. So I got used to the environment of having to listen to them speak about their next moves. They started building community halls, identifying some places for shopping malls, having access to water, having access to a lot of things.
I was raised by a single parent, so I came in 1991, I started here. There's 5 of us, so she was raising us as a single parent, and it was really tough. And she was a domestic worker. So for me, it was like after my matric, the plan was to go to the mountain and become a man. It's an initiation school basically, so they teach you how to become a man and look after your loved ones, your family, and so on.
So the challenges that I faced for me was in terms of being able to start my own business and having to raise my own capital, knowing that in the country we'd have the small business support through government, but even if you apply for such things, it's a process of being able to, to start your business. So those are the challenges I have faced in terms of opening the business, because I had to raise my own funds.
Then I was in a restaurant, and then I was sitting next to like Africans, white people, and then one of the children or the child said, "Look at this kafur." So a kafur is a term that you cannot use in South Africa, which is referred to Negroes in America.
I'm just hoping that our country will just become a better country, so that we can have hope again to say, okay, our government is doing something about those corrupt officials.
Trying to bring in the whole community into my journey, like the little kids. I have a children's reading club, and this I started as well, not even thinking about it. I was like, I need to do something, because it felt like the kids had nothing to do over the weekends, and most of their parents are, young adults, so they don't necessarily have that much care. So how about I bring storybooks? I bring just books that they can read to bring them hope, because also for me, in order for me to be here now, I relied a lot in my mind because of the books I used to read. So my thing is trying now to bring together both worlds, where if I create opportunities for young people to participate in different programs that will give them capacity to learn a lot about themselves and being able to do to do better in their lives.
My mom couldn't afford to send me to university, first of all. So I had to keep on hustling, doing short courses. Like I started with a sales and marketing course while I was waitering at a local restaurant. Now I'm a permanent employee at VACOPS, and I love it here, meeting different people from different backgrounds. So I always have this hope that things will be better. I mean, days are not the same, If people can have hope that if I try to do something for myself and not wait for the government, I'll be a better person.
My hopes for South Africa is equality, right? Which I think we need to understand the system, right? And also we need to learn the politics.
Appreciate even when there's no hope of appreciation. You try to just bring some lot of positive energy into what you're doing, and then before you know it, you are in another stage without even knowing it. But also I do not want that to be something that is only me or mine. I try to share it as much as I can with other people, and then a lot of it brings hope for them too.
Respect the society, respect the next person, because we have this thing called ubuntu. I am because you are. I don't look at the color of your skin. We're all human beings, and we have to treat each other with respect. So I had that hope that I'll become a better person if I'm humble and I'm kind to one another. Even if the next person is not kind to me, but I'll remain, calm and all of that. So that played a very instrumental role in my life.